Yup. Okay, one of my leaf springs is done. This started off just like that one, and in very terrible condition. But it now looks like this. I've decided not to pull it apart because I just do not want to mess with these C-clamps. I don't know a damn thing about them. I don't want to have to redo it, on and on and on. I did take off this plate to kind of clean up in there. And that's that. So I'm going to clean up a lot of my suspension stuff and hang it up out of the way and paint it all at one time. I've got some chassis black from Eastwood, as well as some primer, some epoxy primer. So I'll do it all at one time. I'll do everything all at one time, at least enough where I can get the suspension put back on my frame so that I can get unbent. And as you can see, I have an empty nest. My frame's gone at the sandblaster, and can't believe my baby's gone. Yup. So here's a comparison of one versus the other. I sure as hell don't remember which side one came versus the other, but this is how rusty I'll be taking care of this one here today versus this one is. I'm likely to paint this, well, I'm going to paint them both, but I'm likely to paint them as they are, and then once the paint's dry and cured and hardened and everything else, swap out the seals. I've noticed that when I try to tighten this thing, the whole thing spins, which is not surprising, but what I'm not sure of is whether this pin is, part of, wow, look at that, part of the system or what. You know, when I was spinning those nuts, this did not spin, so I don't know. Guess we'll find out at some point, but what you're looking at there isn't necessarily rust, but it is dust coming off of my rust job, my derustification. So I'll be hosing this thing down with acetone, nail polish remover, and priming it up with epoxy primer, and then on top of that some Eastwood chassis black. Should look real nice after I'm done with it. Real nice. Well, that one too. And this one's done. I didn't take off the top plate, mainly because I don't want to fiddle with that pin until I know that it goes all the way through or what. So some research is due. You can see some pitting here. I didn't want to use my, where is it? My flap disc, or whatever that thing's called, too deeply on this. There are some really nice looking areas, and you can see, like I say, pitting. So what I'm going to be using is this stuff. It's a spray-on gel. It eats the rust, and it protects it. Once I got oh, you know what? I forgot. God damn it! I got that entire side to do. Oh well. Anyway, so this stuff will eat the rust, and let me see if I can see what the it doesn't have an active ingredient, but basically this stuff will turn the outer layer of steel into a very thin layer of zinc. It galvanizes it. You leave it on for 30 minutes. You then hose it off because it takes care of all the bare steel, and what you have is a layer of zinc on top of this stuff. So I'm likely to do that today because, as you can see, it's freaking gorgeous outside, and gorgeous days like today are going to be pretty rare. So I might just do that. Rig up some towels and let it go. Like I say, I'm not too unhappy about this. I've got those two seals, those two rubber pads, the bushings and everything else. I've got to replace those, but I do believe that I've ordered that stuff from Moss. I believe I've already got it, but I'm not sure. I just never opened the goddamn box. Need to get off my ass and do that. And so that's it for the leaf springs. What's next, I think, will be the rear axle here. I don't believe this is going to be too awfully tough to degrease. I'm not going to pull it apart. I'm not going to drain it, and I'm not going to renovate it or rebuild it. Not until I think I have to. Really, what I'm trying to do as quickly as I can is get the suspension put back together on my frame so I can get it unbent. And if I have to take it off, I got to take it off again, but you know, who knows. And I'll need to get some more of these things, filters. My filter's clogged from all the crap I just put up in the air, so not a bad day spent. What'll probably be next after this will be my rack and pinion, and then the A-arms and the springs. So I could probably finish this off all in a weekend, maybe. Yeah, but who knows? I'm busy with other crap, lawn mowing, dishes, and so forth, so I may or may not have the time to do it, but, you know, who knows? We'll see.